How you doing, everybody? Daryl the Bearded Dragon here with dadsanddragons.com, and as you can tell, I am not at the studio. I am recording from my office at home. That wire going across there, where is it? There it is, that wire going across there, that's for my my Rift sensors hanging from the ceiling. So it's an ugly setup. That's why I've kind of got it right on my face, showing the ceiling, because the rest of my office is in no state to be on television right now, or the internet, YouTube, whatever. Just coming on to say, I tried to get a show together this week, but Seth, he's getting really busy. He's going to school in the fall. He's got other work that he's doing, and he's been super helpful with the show, but unfortunately this week he just wasn't able to get some time to do the show. And Nathan is dealing with other aspects of our business right now that are a little bit more important than putting out the weekly show. So it was going to be just me. And so I thought, well, since it's just me anyways, why bother everybody over at Faux Pop? That little Faux Pop, powered by Faux Pop, that shows up at the beginning of each show. That's a media studio that exists in the town where we do this show, and they're super awesome, super helpful. They've let us come in and use equipment that is well above our current pay grade. So if you think the show looks really good and has high production values, that's all on them. They're also really busy right now. They have a whole bunch of other people that they work for, or that they work with, who are paying them. So now I did pay a little bit, but they certainly gave me a deal. I don't know why. I can't explain why they did it, but they gave me a really good deal. So I'm not going to complain, and I'm not going to ask them to set up the entire set to film me by myself when I can do that myself at home. So anyway, I was kind of trying to set up a show, but I haven't actually had time myself. I've got appointments that I have to go to, so I'm going to be away for the next 2 days. So I haven't had time to really play any of the games, except Star Trek Bridge Crew. I did play because it came out on Tuesday, and you can actually see a video. I posted a video. It's if you go up to my playlist, it's a long play, I call it. It was going to be, well, it was actually, originally I was just going to post the entire thing, but as I was editing it, I'm like, oh man, there was a lot of me fumbling around, having no idea what to do because I didn't do the tutorial. Like, it was originally 56 minutes long, I think, and by the time I was done cutting it, it was 16 minutes long. So I guess it technically could have still been called a Dragon Bites, but I felt it was still a bit too long for that. So I quickly made up a new thumbnail overlay, and it's called a long play now. And I don't know if there will be any more long plays, but it gets a category of its own because it didn't really fit a Dragon Bite. It's a big deal. Like, they changed Oculus Home for this game. I signed in last night to Oculus Home, and I'm like, something doesn't look right in here. And then all of a sudden outside it just turns to stars, and the Enterprise goes flying overhead, and because Oculus Home, it's got windows like over there and up above you and behind you, and you can just watch the Enterprise go over you and over your head. And anyway, it was really cool, and it was a really neat thing to see happen. So obviously Oculus thinks that Bridge Crew is a super big deal. Being somebody who isn't a Star Trek fan, I didn't really know anything about Star Trek, really. I mean, I've seen the new movies. I've seen a few episodes, probably not even full episodes, of The Next Generation, and I've seen a few of the one with 7 of 9, and I forget which one that is. Voyager, I think. So I've seen that one, a few episodes of that, but that's it. That's the extent of it, right? Like, I'm not a Klingon-speaking Star Trek nerd by any stretch of the imagination. However, I can say that this game was a lot of fun, and I've so far only had the time to sit. I didn't want to jump into a multiplayer match when I had no idea what I was doing. So the video you see is me playing solo, I just it was really good. It was really fun. I had a lot of fun, and I'm sure it's even more fun with other people. But my word of caution is do the entire tutorial. I really enjoyed the game. I think it'll be better with multiplayer when you've got everybody working together. There'll just be that extra energy, and it's really, you know, it feels a lot what I think it would feel like to actually be on the bridge of one of the Star Trek starships. So anyway, I think it's a really good game, and if I can figure out a way to overlay some gameplay over this little video here that I've done, then I'll do that, and we'll have some gameplay, and this can be sort of like a mini Hoard. But really, what I really came on to say is that there's not going to be a Hoard this week, just because I couldn't get it together. So, but I thought put up a little vlog style video to explain at least, and then there's something, and you know, keep the YouTube algorithm happy, and keep anybody who watching this, you know, you can see why, you know, if you're expecting a show this Thursday, you know that, you know, this stuff going on. And hopefully all of this stuff will be put to bed soon, and we will be able to get on a more regular schedule, back to having me and Nathan in the chair and Seth as a guest once in a while, unless he wants to do more, but it sounds like he's going to be too busy to. And we're going to try to get other people as guests as well. Maybe start trying to do some interviews and stuff like that. But right now there's just so much going on that it's hard to do that stuff. So we've been keeping it simple with just like sort of like first looks at games and stuff like that. But we definitely want to do a lot more with it. And we definitely even want to look at doing other shows down the road. So so that's coming. Yes, I've downloaded and played a couple other games. There was one of them. Oh, I wish I had my computer on right now. I wasn't planning on doing this, so I'm sorry for being so disorganized. But there's one that came out, and it's like a first-person shooter where you are inside, supposed to be inside a computer or something like that. And it has full movement and everything. And so I was like, oh, I'm so excited. But the way he chose to do the movement, or the developers chose to do the movement, is you pull the trigger to determine your speed, and then you twist your controller to move around the area. And I'm just like, why did you turn my controller into an analog stick when there is a perfectly functioning analog stick on the controller that, from what I can tell, isn't doing anything? So that sort of ruined it for me, because instead of being able to just run around and shoot, at stuff, I was most of the time fighting and moving when I didn't mean to move, and backing up when I didn't mean to. And I don't know. I don't understand why weird control systems are being implemented when perfectly good control systems already exist. Like, unless it's finding some way to tie my feet into the movement, just stick to the analog controls, guys. That's what we're all used to. That's how we play video games. We grew up with it, right? I'm all for experimentation. Don't get me wrong. I think that the mode that they put in should exist. But I also think that it should only be optional, right? Like, it should be one control scheme, and the other one is just, take the input from the analog stick. That's what I think. The only thing I can think is maybe the analog stick is necessary for something later that I don't know about, because I only played like 2 minutes and got frustrated and took it off. What else was there? Oh, there's another game. Oh, I haven't got to try it yet, because unfortunately it was taking too long to download, and I didn't have time to stick around at work to wait for it to finish. But there's one about mages that looks like it could be pretty cool. Gear VR wise, I haven't seen anything this week that's worth talking about, I don't think. And I'm using my phone to record this. I can't even look it up. Let me just quickly have a quick boo on my S6 and see if there's anything new that I haven't seen. But oh, Raising a Ruckus. That's not new to some of you. That's been out for a while. But it doesn't work on the S8 and S8 Plus, so I didn't know it existed. S8 and S8 Plus support is coming, apparently. But I just loaded up my S6 the other day, and I saw this. I'm like, what the heck is that? So I loaded it up, and it's like a little cartoon. But it is the best cartoon, 3D 360 cartoon that I've seen so far. It's still not to the point where you would want to watch an entire movie like that, but So it's not to the point where you would want to watch an entire movie, but it is to the point where, you know, you can see how it might become to the point where you would watch an entire movie that way. It's really good. It's really good. I don't know if it costs anything. As long as the cost is like below, I don't know. I'd pay maybe $5. I'd say this is around a $5 worth a $5 app. If it's more than that, then don't bother, because it's literally a 10-20 minute cartoon that, you know, once you've seen it once, you've seen it. And yeah, $5 is probably a good price for that. The other one that I looked at was Defenders of the Realm. And it was kind of cool, but I had no idea how to play. And if I recall correctly, the opening music had the audio watermark from the site that they took it from, which means that they took the music and they either didn't pay for the music that they used, or they did and didn't realize that they had used the stuff that you can download for free, but you're not supposed to use because you haven't paid for it, and that's why the audio watermark is over it. So anyway, otherwise though, the game seemed kind of cool, except for I had no idea how to play, and there wasn't really good instructions. But the graphics were good. It is just like kind of like another wave stationary shooter sort of idea, but you can move. It's claims that it's a tower defense sort of game, and you can set traps and stuff like that. I guess the game it reminds me most of, if you've played it, is Orcs Must Die. Except Orcs Must Die was very straightforward in what you were supposed to do, and this one is less so. So you can lay traps and stuff that kill the creatures and stuff, but I made it to like the second wave, and then I was overrun like almost immediately. So the difficulty, either I have literally no idea what I'm doing, which is entirely possible, or the difficulty curve is just ridiculous. Like it goes from being doable to immediately not doable. So, but that's really all I've had time to look at for the stuff today, and I'm recording this right now on Thursday morning as I'm about to leave for the next till tomorrow night. So usually today's the official release day, for those who don't know. So I don't know why Star Trek Bridge Crew came out on Tuesday. Maybe just because it was such a big game, they decided to give it its own launch day. But Wednesday is called the soft launch day, when the games actually show up on the store. And Thursday is the day that everything is officially launched. So if you look in the store and you'll see the just released section gets populated with all the games that came out on Wednesday. That happens on Thursday. And sometimes some of the bigger games, like the Oculus Studios games and stuff like that, sometimes they don't come out until Thursday. So that's why I wait until Thursday evening to do the Hoard, even though most of the games that we end up covering are downloaded and played on Wednesday. Just in case that there's a game that really needs to be talked about that comes out, I wait till Thursday evening to do the Hoard. But I don't have that option today, so I am recording this now. Anyways, this has gone on for 15 minutes, and that is a lot longer than I ever intended it to be, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up now. Plus, I got some packing and stuff. I got to get the kids ready to go. It was just like an off-the-cuff thing I decided to do. So, this has been the Hoard at Home. I'm Daryl the Bearded Dragon. Please hit like and subscribe. Check out the playlist for the other Hoard episodes. If this is your first time watching, this is not what it normally is. Go check out the playlist to see what it normally is. And leave some comments down below. Let me know, what do you think of the show? What do you want to see on the show? Are there games that we haven't covered you'd like to see? We also have a website, dadsanddragons.com. Head over there. Check that out. We do reviews and articles and stuff there. Right now, we really are focusing more on the YouTube than on the website, but occasionally, if a game is really awesome, I will be posting a review there. And I actually, one last thing to say, I have got a Daydream now for the moment. It doesn't belong to me, but I'm borrowing it. My wife has the Pixel, so I'm going to be using that to review Along Together. It's just a new game from Turbo Button, and if you haven't heard of them, then you should hear of them. Check out Adventure Time and Floor Plan. They're both short games. but they're very, very good, high-quality games with a lot of good ideas in them. And Adventure Time is obviously just Adventure Time. If you know the show, then you're going to love the game. Even if you don't, if you love platformers, you're going to love the game. Along Together is their longest game that I've played yet. And it's a puzzle platformer game, and it uses the Daydream remote in an interesting way. So I'm going to be covering that. I'm going to be putting up a review on the website. I'm thinking about making it my first video review as well, as long as I can figure out how to record the screen on that phone. Otherwise, it may wind up on the Hoard next week, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you sometime next week. Bye for now.